In the shadowy foothills of northern Burma, past the radiant hues of twilight, lay a small and seemingly desolate village. Through the narrow, winding paths, 4 brothers, barely into their teens, were making their return from school. Mo, the most tender-hearted amongst them, walked a step behind, lost in the murmur of the wind and the faint rustling of leaves underfoot. Just as the hush of twilight fell over them, a figure emerged from the obscurity of the village, an ordinary-looking man of middle age. His clothes were worn and tattered. His gaze lingered unsettlingly upon the children. "Might I trouble you for a light, young man?" he addressed Mo, the edges of his lips curling into a thin, pallid smile as he held out an unlit cigarette. "Sure," replied Mo, his hand fumbling in his pocket for his older brother's borrowed lighter. Before Mo could ignite the lighter, his brothers seized him by his arms, their faces as pale as moonlight. "We have to go! We have to go now!" they said, urgency gripping their words as they began to run, dragging a bewildered Mo along. But Mo was not to be led away without an answer. He broke free and turned, just in time to glimpse the stranger's retreating form. A cold shudder ran down his spine when he noticed the man's feet. They were turned in the opposite direction, aligned grotesquely with his shadow. The breath froze in his lungs, and his heart pounded in his chest, for the man they had encountered was no man at all. He was a spectral entity, a phantasm of a bygone era, doomed to wander the plane of existence in an unnerving parody of human form. His manifestation was imperfect, grotesque, a poor imitation of humanity crafted by an entity who had observed men from a distance, but never truly understood the fabric of their existence. The backward feet were a grim testament to the spirit's eternal struggle, a wretched attempt at emulating the mortal coil. Thus, the brothers were doomed to forever walk the dusky roads of their village with a chilling tale, a spectral encounter etched in their young minds. Their playful laughter replaced by hushed whispers, their sunny days marred by the frightful nights, their innocence stolen by a ghost lost in time and space, a phantom trying to replicate human form, but only as well as it could understand.